Hey everyone, welcome to Live Trading Thursday. My name is David Verbruggen. I'm going to be your host today. We're going to be looking at the market, seeing what's been going on the last few days. A bit has changed in the last day or two, so that'll be interesting to look at. We're also going to be taking a look at some potential trades that could be coming up. I also want your input. I want to get some trades from you guys. Go ahead and send me the tickers, the stocks that you are looking at. Let's take a look at trades you're considering. Let's take a look at maybe historical trades even. So go ahead and drop those in the comment box. Both Facebook and YouTube should have those. But while we're waiting for a few of those to accumulate, I want to walk you through something similar that we did to last week, but I just think it's so important using this new watch list next to the chart feature in Charts by Tradeaway. So I want to walk through a few steps that we can do to kind of get the workflow of a trader. So we're going to actually use some of the tools in Charts by Tradeaway, look at some scans, move some tickers over to a watch list, and then narrow it down from there. Who knows? We might even see something that looks pretty good, and we'll just place a virtual trade, a paper trade right then and there. I can't promise that. We're just going to take a look. So let's go ahead and let's dive in. Keep in mind, all examples in this live trading session should be viewed for educational purposes only and not taken as trading or investment advice. All right, let's go ahead and let's dive in here. I'm going to share my screen. First, of course, we want to take a look at the overall market. I mean, I know I'm excited. I want to just dive in and go find some tickers, but we need to understand what is happening in the market so we kind of have a framework, an idea of what we're looking at. Is the market bullish? Is it bearish? And I got to tell you what. I was excited yesterday when I saw that the market was pulling back a little bit because it was coming right up on this uptrending support line. And I was thinking, sweet, this is going to be awesome. It's going to sit right there. Maybe it pops up today and we have a really nice bullish buy point. And then the market kept coming down. And then you find out, okay, there was an announcement made by Chairman Powell. The Fed's deciding they're going to continue to raise rates. The market obviously doesn't like that. The market tanked, broke through this uptrending support line. And just a few minutes ago, let's get a quick refresh on this new candle here. Let's see where that is. Okay, yeah, a few minutes ago, today's candle was looking like a doji. What do you do with that? It makes it hard to trade, right? We just broke support, so we can't really get bullish, but we haven't really established ourselves in a downtrend like we were in this area. This was a nice downtrend, actually. Worked out for a while. So we can't really go bearish either. So what do we do with this? Well, the way that I look at this is we need to go find charts that don't care. What do I mean by that? We need to find pretty patterns. We need to find stocks that are still making good looking patterns, either uptrending or downtrending. It doesn't really matter. But we need to find charts and stocks that aren't just moving whichever direction the wind's blowing, like this volatile market is. So we're going to go ahead and do that today. Keep them coming, guys. Keep those tickers coming that you're throwing in there, because I want to look at those with you guys as well. Let me double check everything. So earnings season is mostly done, so that's good. I know the last few weeks we'd be looking at some tickers and like, well, this would be really nice, but earnings is tomorrow, or earnings is, in 3 days. So most of that is behind us. So we're looking pretty good as far as that goes. All right, guys, let's dive in now. Let's take a look. I've got already built in here. You can see I've got uptrends and downtrends watch lists there. Now they're empty. They just have the .spx anchor sitting in there right now. So we're going to actually use the platform to see what we can find for uptrends and downtrends. And then we're going to go ahead and get rid of the patterns that we don't like, keep the patterns we do like, and just see what happens. But again, if you guys want to look at any of yours, go ahead and throw those in the comments. All right, let's dive in here. I'm going to come up here to the Find tab, and I'm going to choose Scans. Now, there are a multitude of different scans in here. It can almost be overwhelming. There's so much. But I like to keep it simple. I like to simply go to Outlook. When you go to Outlook, you can look for bullish scans, bearish scans, stagnant, or volatile. Let's start off with bullish here. And within bullish, I usually just like to go to chart pattern rising channel. That's the platform's language for uptrend. That's what that is. It's just a rising channel. So we're going to go ahead and click on that. And it's going to pull all these up here. Now, there's a few patterns that since this scan was created, and these scans are always created 5 minutes after the market opens. So this scan's a few hours old. It could be that some of these charts no longer are in pretty uptrends, or they may have never been in a pretty uptrend. They could have been in a not pretty uptrend, but some of them we might just have to discard. And that's okay, because all we're going to do is look for patterns that we like, that are pretty to us. So let's go ahead. We're going to grab all these guys right now, and we're just going to throw them in the uptrending watch list. Send symbols to selected watch list. There we go, uptrends. And while we're here, let's do it for the downtrends too. Now, we may not get to the downtrends. We'll see. Oh my, where did it go? Oh, there it is. Chart pattern decline channel. Oh my goodness, 100 and maxed out. Yeah, we're not going to get to all of those. We'll see if we can get to some of them though. Same thing. I want to select them all. Let's send them to the downtrends. Added to downtrends. Perfect. Now we're going to go back to our chart, and we can we'll start with uptrends here. Load up uptrends. There we go. All right, now here we are. We're looking at LLY. I think we looked at this one last week, but it was earnings that got us, right? Earnings is behind us now. So what are we looking at now? Well, we're still uptrending, so that's nice. The stock did come down and bounced off the 20. Didn't quite make it to this line, but it bounced off the 20 and moved up. So this is a decent pattern that is holding. It's probably not at a great buy point right now. It's a bit extended. So we're going to leave it on the list, but we're not going to move forward with it right now. ABBV. Let's take a look at this one. Ooh, okay. Earnings finished up yesterday. And while this was, I remember this one was just rocketing up there. Wasn't a pretty uptrend, but it was making higher highs, higher lows. And then it looks like earnings kind of killed that. So I bet this chart might fall off of that uptrend list soonish here. But right now it's not in a pretty uptrending pattern. So we're going to go ahead and get rid of that one. MRK is our next one. This one, earnings behind us again. Let's draw a line on here. Let's go. Whoops. That is not the greatest line. You don't like your line, just click it and delete it. Just do it again. There we go. Okay, look at that. So this is one, it's starting to pull back. It's gotten really close to our line. If the market continues down a little bit, I bet MRK might come down to this line. If it produces a bounce, then it could be in a good shape. This is one I would want to watch. So it's not ready yet. I wouldn't jump into this thing right now, but I would want to watch this one because there's some good opportunities that could come out of this thing if it does what we hope it might do. AMGN, let's take a look at this one. Wow, that is steep. Okay, earnings. Ooh, earnings are today actually. So we can leave it on the list. We'll draw a support line here, but we can leave it on the list. But there's definitely not anything I'm going to do with it right now. We'll have to see what happens after earnings. If that trend holds after earnings, you could potentially be looking at a buy point even tomorrow. So still something to keep an eye on. ELV, we'll leave it on the list, but that is very extended. You know, this line right here is probably not going to happen. It's probably not going to retrace all the way back to this line before it bounces up. That was really hot. I bet this thing bounces off the 10, maybe comes down to the 20 and bounces, but we'd have to wait and see on this one. Look at one more bullish one here, and then we'll jump over to some bearish ones. And guys, again, throw those in the comment box if you're wanting to look at any others that you have as well. I just pulled these off of a simple scan that's available in Charts by Treyway, but I know you guys find some really good charts too. So go ahead and throw those in there. All right, this one right here, it's kind of a different pattern, right? You can see this uptrending support line right there, but then it kind of broke that pattern and gapped way up, and it's moving up nicely. This is a pattern that I recognize because we teach a strategy around this pattern right here. But this is not your standard uptrend. So I'm actually going to go ahead and take that off the list right now. So guys, that's, as far as uptrends go, you can just keep rolling that way, right? You keep the ones you like. You get rid of the ones you don't like. You can create another watch list, maybe like a trigger watch list, and put the ones that look like they could be ready to go that week. You can put those in even a smaller watch list, and you just watch those every day of the week. Let's jump over to the downtrends, see what we can find there, see which ones we like and which ones we don't like. TSM, that's actually a pretty downtrend. On the bigger scale, over a year, it's just been coming down. And in the last few months, it's been coming down nicely as well. Put some lines on here, right about there. And you can see that it not only, let me zoom in, it has bounced off that line and come down a couple times, but it's also been using the 10 EMA right there. The 10 is being pushed down there. So you may not even need to wait for it to come up to that line again before you enter a bearish trade. It might just take, a move up to the 10 EMA, and if it starts coming down, you could get into a bearish trade on this one. So that one's going to stay on the list. And just to clarify what I meant by you can get into, I mean, like, it'd be a good buy point. I'm not in any way saying that it's going to work out, because you could look at this right here, right? I just mentioned, 10 EMA bounce down, 10 EMA bounce down. You come here, 10 EMA, and if you jump right in before it bounces down, well, then it's going to move up. It did eventually come back down, but if I see that candle the next day, I'm probably stopping out. So if I had hopped into a bearish trade on this day, I probably stopped out the next day. I wouldn't have seen this move down because I would have been out of the trade. TMO, it's a bit choppy. Earnings is behind us, so that's nice. But where is it liking to bounce down from? This 50. Look at that. Bounce down, bounce down. We can throw a line. If we start the line there, it's pretty close. 1, 2, 3 touches. But where is it now? It's a bit too far away, right? We would want this thing to move back up, and it could do it pretty quickly compared to, what it has done. 3-4 days, it could be right back up to this line, and then we'd be looking for a bounce down again. So interesting things there. This poses a good question. Okay, if this has so far consistently just been moving up and down, even though it's a downtrend, we can throw another line on here to kind of show that downtrend right about there. It's pretty close to parallel. The question could be, would we want to enter a bullish trade if we think it's going to move back up? That kind of, it breaks a rule, right? We teach to not trade against the trend. The trend is moving down. It is a downtrend. We are making lower highs and lower lows. So we don't want to trade against it. Can someone make money? Yeah, absolutely. They can make money if they hopped into a call, bought the stock, or did any bullish trade, and if it moved back up to that line, they could make money. However, it is one of those things that we do not recommend because it's a lot harder. You want to trade with an edge. You want things in your favor. Going against the trend is not in your favor. You want to trade uptrends? Come back to the uptrend list. There were some nice charts there that we're potentially setting up pretty soon. Aaron, thanks for being on today. I thought everyone was asleep. I'm glad that you posted in the comments there. I can see we got 9-10 people on, so that's great. All right, Aaron says, new to the market. went to Trade Search. That's awesome. I got to attend a couple Trade Searches. Very much enjoyed that. And Aaron, you're watching Verizon. Would love any thoughts. Let's do it. Let's jump right over to Verizon. Let's see what we can find. All right. Ooh, Verizon. Okay. I like some things already that I'm seeing in here. First thing, of course, you notice is a very consistent downtrend. Bounce down off the 20, bounce down off the 20, bounce down off the 20. Again there, almost. It didn't quite make it these last two times, but it was pretty close. Let's drop a line right there. Right about there. That's a... I'm going to pull it up on this side just a hair. There we go. That's pretty close right there. 1, 2, 3, 4 touches, essentially. Earnings is behind us. That's cool. And Aaron, what's the big thing that we see when we drop this line down here? The downtrend resistance line was broken. This thing started to move up. So now we can, I don't think there's enough data yet to confirm that, hey, look, this is our support line. But I love that you brought this one up, actually. But we can start watching this one. We've broken this downtrending support line, or downtrending resistance line. I mentioned it bounced down off the 20 EMA a few times. And this day, when it broke the resistance line, it also broke the 20. And it closed above the 20. That's huge. That's a big deal. Let's zoom in. Here we are. That day, that's a big deal. The next day, it played a little bit below that line, but it still closed above the line. Again, a big deal. Next day, oh, that's a down candle. Well, but it gapped up. And then where did it close? Right about the same place that it did the day before. Again, close above the 20. The next day, you have an up candle. And frankly, what did happen yesterday? Remember, look at the market. Overall market, yesterday, big red candle, breaking down through support, breaking down through the EMAs, kind of destroyed our uptrend. What did Verizon do? They held their own. They held their own, right? You do see a wick up there, but it's still a clear candle, closing above the 20. Today, I mean, that's a really little candle. I kind of got to zoom in, get a lot closer to the screen to even see that. So I'm interested to see what would happen today, but potentially this could be setting up for an aggressive bullish entry. Now, I wouldn't mind seeing this thing move up, coming back down and bouncing off this uptrending support line, or at least confirming the uptrending support line before I were to jump in. But if you're new and you just recently went to Trade Surge, this is not a bad one to paper trade. Okay, let's see if this thing can go ahead and move up a little bit. And if it can close near or above yesterday's close, that shows, especially if you get it on some higher volume. And yesterday's volume was a bit higher than the last few days. If you can get that, that could be a decent bullish entry. So I say, why not go ahead and paper trade that? What would that look like if you paper traded that? I would look at a stop out of maybe below the 10 EMA right here, which would be below our uptrending support line as well. So maybe about $37. That's a very, that's pretty tight stop out. You could go a little bit lower. You could go 36.5. That wouldn't be wrong. What would be my target? I can maybe target something like $39, right? I'm seeing this overhead 50 EMA that could be problematic, could be some overhead resistance, but your risk to reward ratio is actually pretty good. Let's pretend now that, again, this is not at a buy point yet, because I want to see what this candle does today. If it starts to break down, then that's not what I'm looking for. But if it moves up and you got a clear candle towards the end of the day, then this could be a decent one to paper trade. So I don't know if you've seen this yet, Aaron, but let's just go ahead and jump to this for example sake. Let's go ahead and just buy some shares. A simple step one stock trade. Again, I'm in a virtual account right here, and I can just hit the green B button, or down up here too on the side, buy. That'll automatically pop in an order ticket, quantity 100 shares. You can change that to whatever you would like. And just for the sake of time and making sure that we get this order filled, I'm going to go ahead and make this a market order. If you want to haggle the price, you could limit order it, but look at the bid-ask spread. It's a penny difference. At that point, I'm not worried about it. Let's just make sure the order goes through. So we're going to review this. Yep, looks good. Market order, time in force is today. We're going to buy 100 shares of Verizon in the virtual account. And we're going to submit that. There we go. Now, where is that order? You can see the order status here. It's already been executed. It did it very quickly because we did a market order. So I come to the positions tab, and you can see I got several positions on, just random. Honestly, I don't even remember when I got into some of these. It was just random webinars. But here's our Verizon, 100 shares of Verizon. So it shows a loss right now, but an expense right now, but that's just because of the bid-ask spread. So that's not really what it is right now. All right. So we can follow that as we go. And again, we could say, our stop out might be 36.50 and our profit target might be 39. So different things that we can look at there. But Aaron, I'm glad that you brought that one up. That's a good one to look at. And I know the communications industry essentially hasn't really been following what the overall market has been doing. They're kind of just doing their own thing, which is what I said at the beginning we want to look for right now. We want to look for pretty patterns that aren't carrying what the overall market's doing, because the overall market can be pretty volatile. All right, that's a good one. All right, let's see if I can run through I see a couple more in here. Juan posted, Joseph posted. Thank you guys so much. Let's go ahead and we're going to go just a hair long here, but that's okay. Let's take a look at VLO. Okay, Valero Energy is probably going to be uptrending. Yep. Earnings behind us now. Let's throw a line on here. Ooh. Okay. So this is our uptrending line, and it looks like today it's moving up off that line. And the candle's looking pretty nice. I would hope the volume comes up, and especially if you have towards the end of the day a little higher volume, this could be at a good buy point. This could be also one that you could, consider paper trading if you're new. If you're an experienced trader, you could look at potentially doing a real trade on it. It wouldn't hurt to have this. There, you see this line right here. Short-term resistance. It's slightly above that right now. Love to see that broken as well. So very good chart that you pulled up there as well. Again, another chart that's doing its own thing. It doesn't really care what the overall market's doing. So yesterday the market was down bad, and Valero was just down normal. Actually, it brought it to a point where it was better. It is going to give us another potential buy point. So that's good as well. All right. Oh, you're talking about for a bull put spread. Yeah, I mean, we don't have time to jump into all the strikes right now, but you could look at, I wouldn't do anything, maybe 120 for your short strike, 115 if you want to go out a month and they give that to you. You got earnings behind you, so that's good. But there's different things you could consider there. All right. Last couple we're going to look at from Joseph. We'll take a real quick look at Apple and Amazon. I'm just going to fly through these two. Ooh, okay. Apple, here we go. Not looking bullish, right? That's a pretty big drop off right there. Hit the 200 simple. I think we talked about this before on this webinar, that the 200 simple is something to watch out for because it can make things turn around, and it did here. And Apple moving down quite a bit. Don't want to get bullish. Can I get bearish on this now? Ooh, it's moved down quite a bit already, right? I'd say the times it got, like this day, what was that, Tuesday? Halfway through Tuesday, you saw that candle. That wouldn't be a bad time to get bearish. Now, it's moved down quite a bit on you. I mean, where's your stop loss going to be? Up here? That's too much. So I would want to wait on this one. It's going to be hard to do something with this right now. All right, last one, we're going to take a look at Amazon. Amazon, I figured it would be well, it's a little different, but this one's been dropping off too. Obviously, not going to get bullish on this. It's bearish. They didn't miss on earnings that bad though. But still they had a gap down. I wonder if their forecast wasn't very good, because that's a pretty severe gap down. And then just been racing down since then. If this thing is going to keep getting pushed down by the 5 EMA, it could go down for a while, but I would want to see it pull up a little bit at least. Maybe if you can come back up to the 5 EMA and then roll over, you could look at a potential bearish trade on that. But right now it's too far extended. It at some point is going to want to come back up before it goes down more. So, all right. Oh, Jody's saying hiring freeze announced today on Amazon. Okay, interesting. That is very interesting. They always have those commercials out. We're hiring. So, yeah. So I think their forecast might be in a rough spot, which is why we're seeing a lot of that downward movement. All right, guys, that's going to wrap it up today for Live Trading Thursday. Thank you all for being on. Jody, Juan, Aaron, Joseph. Thank you guys all for participating. I love that. I'm going to go ahead and let you guys know about a free webinar we are doing on Tuesday. I'm actually leading this one. I'm excited. It's 5 habits of a successful trader. So we're going to look at 5 habits that a lot of successful traders have. And so we're going to talk about that. If I can find my mouse again, there it is. I'm dropping in the link here in the comments. There you go. You guys should have that now. You can register for that webinar using that link right there. Again, it is completely free. It's going to be Tuesday, November 8th at it's 9 p.m. West or 9 a.m. West Coast time. So Central time, that'll be 11 a.m. or noon on the East Coast. So that's the time that we're looking at for this 5 habits of successful traders webinar. We're going to be using charts by Tradeaway on this as well, or at least talking about how it can be employed as well. So I'm excited about that, looking forward to it, and I hope to see you guys on there as well. And if not, we'll definitely see you next Thursday again for Live Trading Thursday. All right, thanks, guys. We'll see you later.